Good afternoon. The Department of Foreign Affairs confirms the death of a Filipino in the Hawaii wildfires. In a message, DFA Undersecretary Eduardo De Vega says the victim was Alfredo Galinato. According to De Vega, Galinato was a naturalized U.S. citizen from Ilocos and that they have extended the assistance to the family. De Vega adds that the Philippine Consul General in Honolulu has assisted at least 66 Filipinos in Wailuku. At least 111 have been killed by the wildfires. President Bongbong Marcos is attributing the high price of rice in the market to expensive farmgate costs and importation. Marcos, who is the concurrent Department of Agriculture chief, says the price of rice would only become steady if the country would have increased supplies and reserves of the staple food. Earlier, the president said that the government is closely monitoring rice supplies as the price of rice per kilo surged to about 56 pesos. Marcos says he received reports that rice harvest already started in Nueva Ecija, Isabela, and North Cotabato, which he notes should expand the country's supplies. The president previously pointed to agricultural hoarders as another reason for high prices of food and ordered the Department of Justice and the National Bureau of Investigation to go after them. He also ordered the DA and the Department of Trade and Industry to closely monitor rice prices. The Bureau of Corrections confirms that maximum security inmate Michael Cataroha, who was reported missing last July, is alive and was re-arrested by members of the Angono Police. The new Bilibid prison earlier tapped the assistance of Philippine Coast Guard's K-9 unit to search over the 10-hectare prison facility, leading them to a septic tank that was initially believed to contain Cataroha's chopped remains. Bone fragments were recovered and sent to the National Bureau of Investigation, which confirmed that the bone recovered was not from a human. In a radio interview, Angono Municipal Police Station Chief Major Lauro Moratillo recounts Cataroha's account, saying that the inmate came out of maximum security compound casually, along with other visitors of the NBP. Moratillo also says Cataroha claimed to have found someone of his height and used a ballpen to imitate a stamped mark for NBP visitors. Cataroha was convicted for violating the anti-fencing law and is currently on trial for car theft. Taguig City insists it no longer needs a writ of execution to exercise jurisdiction over Fort Bonifacio Military Reservation and 10 other barangays in Makati, stressing that the Supreme Court decision that favored them is quote-unquote clear and unambiguous. In a statement on Thursday, Taguig City says the preliminary injunction issued by the Pasig Regional Trial Court is made permanent. The preliminary injunction stops Makati from exercising jurisdiction over the inner fort and 10 Embo barangays. This comes after the Office of the Court Administrator stated that a writ of execution must first be secured in order to effectively transfer the jurisdiction of the areas from Makati to Taguig. But Taguig insists that Makati can no longer exercise jurisdiction over the areas that belong to them, adding that to require a writ of execution is tantamount to the suspension of the binding force of subsisting laws. Meanwhile, in a separate statement, Taguig City welcomes the creation of a Department of Education Transition Committee, saying that it ends its dispute with Makati City concerning the 14 public schools affected by the transfer of several barangays from Makati to Taguig. Makati City Mayor Abby Binay likewise welcomed the DepEd's decision, saying it quote-unquote greatly eases the worries and concerns of the affected students, parents, and teachers. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. Department of Foreign Affairs confirms the death of a Filipino in the Maui wildfires. President Bongbong Marcos says high price of rice caused by expensive farmgate costs and importation. Marcos expresses optimism that prices will stabilize with the start of harvest in major areas. And missing Bilibid inmate Michael Cataroha re-arrested in Angono. Cataroha tells cops that he casually stepped out of NBP's maximum security compound along with visitors. And these are the stories you need to know today. I am Zaharian Sarao. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net.